Hey, hello everybody. I'm Dale Mathis and welcome to a theory lesson in the Slow and Easy Accordion class. Today we're going to be talking about chords both in the right hand of your accordion and in the left hand of your accordion. So I'm going to be coming back in just a second with some close-ups so that you can see what I'm talking about. So the tune that I was playing, You Are My Sunshine, I was playing with harmony. And if you ever want to get to the point where you can look at a piece of sheet music that just has a lead line, just the melody, you need to understand how chords work. And there's the old stories about, I hate practicing scales. And yeah, I know, it's not a lot of fun. But you need all of that background information to understand how to do your own harmony. So this accordion that I'm holding today is a Roland FR4X digital accordion. And so it can do a lot of different orchestral sounds and different things. But for starters, I'm going to use an accordion sound over there and over here in the bass side. We've got a string bass sound and an accordion bass. And I'm doing that just so that it makes it very easy to hear what I'm talking about. So in some of the previous lessons, I have outlined for you what a C chord looks like, what an F chord looks like, and what a G chord looks like. And we're talking about major scales at this point. So right now, if I push down a C, an E, and a G, that is the C major chord. Now to make that chord a minor chord, I'm going to take this E and play a flat key. So instead of this, it's going to sound, and we used to say, oh, that's a sad sounding chord. Well, if you want to think about it that way, that's okay. The C major chord, C minor chord. Okay, now, one more chord to point out is here's that C major chord again. C, E, G. And I'm going to grab up here with the B flat, which we've had that key already, and I'm going to add that to all of these other ones. It's called a C7 chord, and I'll get into the technical explanation of seventh chords at a later time. But right now we're just going to take it for the information I'm giving you that it's a C7 chord. And I'd like you to try these things too. Get out your accordion, and as I'm doing these, try them out and see how they sound on your instrument. All right, so now the next chord I want to go to is the G major chord. So I need your thumb on G. I'm going to put your third finger on B and your fifth finger, your little finger, on D. And to get a G minor chord, you're going to take that middle finger, again the third finger, and play the flat key, B flat. And again, it's got that minor, happy, or that sad sound. All right, so here's the major chord, G major, here's G minor. Okay, so we need all these different types of chords to make music sound more interesting. And also, as we get to more advanced songs, you're going to need to learn how to do them in your left hand. And I'm going to show you how to do it today. Now, so here I had the G7 chord, or rather the G major chord, and I'm going to get the G7 chord by adding the F. Okay, so those two chords are important to know for right now, because over here in the bass side, let me readjust this camera. There we go. Down a little lower. All right, so here is the C major. holding, that's the one with the indent, of course, and the or C bass button rather. And then the C major chord is the row right behind it. Okay, now you remember what I said about the middle note in the C chord being an E? Well, if you reach one row in front of your C, you get an E. Go ahead and try that. C. And that's important to know. It's called a contrabass. And it's important to know because in an upcoming song, I'm going to be asking you to play that button. So here's C major, which you know. And then I'm going to just reach over with that third finger. I use my third finger. If you want to try your fourth finger, that's okay too. Okay, so that was using the E contrabass. And now, here's C and major. The next row back is minor. So with one finger, this is the magic of the accordion system, with one finger you can get a minor chord and you don't have to use three fingers in your right hand to form it. So here's the major, here's the minor. That's what it sounds like. And if you reach back one more row, you'll get C7 chord. And so now when I play C7, I use my fourth finger on the C bass and reach back with my second finger for the chord. Now let's try alternating. So here's C. And then let's move everything up to the G7 and play. And another thing that is common that happens in accordion music is if your first chord in the song is C major, so you're playing along and going, you're alternating between the C bass and the G bass. When the music asks you to go to G7 chord, which is a very, very typical chord motion, in accordion music we typically ask you to play the alternate button first. So rather than playing the G first, you'll hit the D button first. So I'll do it again. It's C major, and then when I go to the 7th chord, I'm going to reach up and grab the D button first. Back to the C, going to G7, C. So I'm going to now play You Are My Sunshine again, and I'm going to use that pattern, and I'm just going to get the camera focused into my left hand, so move it one more time, a little lower here. See if you got a good, there we go. That should give you a good viewing vantage. Okay, here we go. So unfortunately, it only had one G7 in there. But when we get to doing You Are My Sunshine, you're going to need that back to C. And you can also take some of your other songs that we have been doing thus far and substitute out the G major chord for G7, just to have something to practice on. All right, so that's giving you a lot to work on today. So let's just do a little quick review. The bass buttons, the fundamental tone is the one you've been using all along. The one right in front of it is the counterbass. So it was C and then E. And if you remember, E is the middle note in the C major chord. And if we go up the G button and move to the counterbass, it's B, which again in the G chord, that is part of the chord. Now I'm going to go down to F, and it's the counterbass in front is A, which again, it's one of the 3 notes in the chord. So that's a lot to digest for today. So I'd like you to just watch this video like 4,000 times, as Arnold Schwarzenegger might say. And I know some of the people in other countries are going, Arnold who? All right, so anyhow, that's the theory part for today. Lots of new things with the bass buttons and the chords in your right hand. So thank you for watching, and again, if you're enjoying this series, please hit the like button. Thank you for watching.